My name is Fark Ilkan, 27 years old. I became a millionaire last year by doing e-commerce. I'm born and raised in the Netherlands and now I have been living since a few years here in Dubai. And I'm making this video to also tell you about what is the one thing that totally changed my life in terms of everything. And I can already tell you what it is, but I want you to keep on listening right now because the main point of this video is not about money. Even though I know most of you who are watching here, you also want to become a millionaire. If you're already a millionaire, congrats. I'm pretty sure that these protocols I'm about to tell you are going to make even more money. But most importantly, you're going to live life way better. At least this is how I go about it. So first of all, disclaimer, this worked for me amazing. I do believe it can work for a lot of people as well, like way better. I'm not a Huberman protocol, this kind of shit stuff. I am e-com legend protocol. That's how you can call it. So we're going to be discussing here in this video about the 5 key pillars of life, which is health, wealth, love, happiness and status. This is the one that most people forgot. Shout out to Ty Lopez for that one. Amazing. And what it has to do with the e-com ledger protocol is what I kinda found out a way to live life that is not necessarily make a lot of money, but that is most importantly is while making money, having full abundance, freedom and having a fulfilled life. Also making sure that the people are with you and you're working with, or your family and friends, and whatever everything happens in life and impacting people in like a good way, everything is in line. Most importantly, you also have peace. This is who I live by. Watch this video because I'm pretty sure this is going to help you a bunch. This is not all made up shit. If you have watched my journey on YouTube, on IG, on Twitter, you can see I've been through different phases in my life. I test a lot of stuff and this works for me and I love it. So listen up. Why I'm going deep into this and not necessarily talk about money, which I do in a lot of my videos because money is important, obviously, is because you don't want to be in a situation in your life at some point where you made all these millions of dollars online, but your whole family has fallen apart. You finally bought that one Lambo and you can't even get out of the Lambo properly because your back is hurting, or you don't want to have a situation where you enjoyed your life, but the moment you wanted to enjoy with your family, somebody passed away, all this sad shit. Like, the only way to really enjoy money is to having a great company, because you go through life and you want to go to a certain point every single time, which is a destination. But what most people also always say, yo, but the journey is more important. I do agree, but what about the company, right? Who are you running with? For example, in my case with my brother, this is the way that we go about it. The journey or the destination, it's all interesting, but it's all about as well the company. Who are you running with? Anyway, I'm gonna talk about, first of all, my daily routine and how this affected and changed my life, especially in the last 5 months, what I've been testing and what's been working. So as you can see, I'm living here in Dubai in my $1.5 million apartment. It's rent, I didn't buy it. Still, for me, it's kind of a flex to be able at this age to live in here. I'm paying $80K a year here. It's totally insane, I know it, you know, but anyway, how do I live? I wake up every day in the morning, 6, 7 a.m., sometimes earlier, it depends on my mood. I did the day before, and I try to catch always 6 to 7 hours of sleep. That is for me sufficient. For some people, 4 hours is enough. For some people, they need 8 or 9 hours. For me, 6, 7 hours is a sweet spot. How do you find this shit out? I don't have any sleep tracker or anything. You can see I'm just wearing a random Cartier watch. I don't have Whoop. I tested it, I didn't like it. But this is the way that I do it. I wake up, first thing I do, I pull up my phone, I check my messages. Listen, I'm running 2 7-figure companies, e-commerce and also my education business. So I gotta be very, very dialed in on everything that's going on. Even though a lot of tasks are outsourced, I still have to be in touch with the team all the time. And there's always some urgent stuff happening. I need to respond. Sometimes I even work more on my phone than I do actually on my laptop. This also happens. After I wake up, the first thing I do, the first 6, 7 hours of the day, I don't eat anything. Literally nothing. Only thing I do, I get 3 espressos back to back while directly starting my work and also drinking 1 liter of water. I don't eat anything, just coffee and water. No carbs, no sugar, no milk, any of that shit. None. And the reason why I don't do that, because I noticed that the more you eat throughout the day, the less you're gonna be focused on your work. I wake up every day in war modus, right? In my head, it's already World War III. It already happened. And this might sound crazy. Father, how can you be this competitive? You're only running a dropshipping e-commerce business and an education business. Listen, bro. There is a lot of people who are fighting right now on their way up to get in the place where I am right now. A lot of people, and they're watching me, especially since my following has been growing, and I know this, I'm aware of it, which is totally fine. But I don't give any of these motherfuckers a spot, or I don't try to. Of course, competition is healthy. Without my competition, I wouldn't be pushed as hard as this. But there's a lot of people, young gunners as well. Like, I don't hate you, but They try to take my spot, which is totally fine. This is the game. I was also like that. I was also trying to take somebody who's sitting there their spot, you know? But that is why I work so hard every single day. One of the reasons. Because in the beginning, when you just start out, it's just about like, yo, I'm gonna make money, right? I'm just gonna make some money. I wanna retire my parents. I wanna have freedom, abundance, some of that shit. But I reached that point within like 1.5 years already. And then you're like, yo, what's now left? You feel some empty space, so you gotta motivate yourself some other ways. That's what I did. That's helped me. So yeah, choose your enemies wisely. Very good book by Patrick Bet-David, by the way. Read that one. Whenever I'm drinking these espressos and I'm drinking water and I'm just working, I'm doing the most annoying tasks you can imagine in a day. I do them directly. Directly, I do them. Why? Because, bro, the thing is, when you wake up, in my opinion, for my case, I have the best focus, really the best focus. And everything that I do in life, I don't want to do it later in the evenings. I want to have more chilled, you can say, a lot of times. So I finish them as soon as possible, knowing like the most annoying tasks. And I also work the most productive when I just wake up and have my first espressos of the day. Why does it exactly work? I think because of that. Works for me. I tested everything. Sleeping late, waking up late. This works for me. After a few hours of deep work, I get my 4th espresso and I start taking my book. So what I always do, I have here a Kindle from Amazon. I bought it for, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks. I can't even remember. And basically every single book you can download into here. Right now I'm reading the book of Charlie Munger, the Almanac of Charlie Munger, which is the right hand of Warren Buffett. Google his name. He died a few months ago. Rest in peace, Charlie Munger. Great guy, just before getting on the age of 100. And I download these books into here, into this Kindle, and I read it. I learn a bunch. Why? Why is it so important? Listen up. When I first came here, again, and I started reading books, and I was reading the autobiography of Elon Musk, there's one thing that totally changed my business, which I learned from the book of Elon Musk, and which is urgency. High urgency, aggressive patience. This helped me insane. You know why I read books, guys? Because there is no better mentor than that people who already went 50, 60, 70, 80 years more than you are already and been through all the crap you're about to go into already. Instead of you making the same mistake and going through all this crap, go read some shit and learn from it. And this is literally what I did, guys. Literally. And when I did that and I was reading the autobiography of Elon Musk and I was seeing how he was living his life, how much urgency and deadlines he put on his company and how much he achieves because he sets a goal of, let's say, yo, team, we gotta do this in 4 weeks. If it's not done, problem. That's a deadline. You have to reach it. And then the employees say like, yo, Elon, this will take 3-4 months. I can't do it in 4 weeks. No, you have to. Done. Easy. And this kind of urgency made me grow my business a lot. Like I scaled so much harder, made more money than ever because this is one of the reasons. And nobody, even though people were telling me about it, if you do read it in a book and you see some very good examples of it, you wake up in the morning and you read this shit, you squeeze it into your head in a way different way like a sponge, which will generally help you more. As crazy as this sounds, this worked for me insanely. Very good. Very, very, very good. So 30 minutes reading a book while drinking my 4th espresso, and then I go for a workout. Well, usually what I do, I go for a morning run on the palm here in Dubai, in the sun, vitamin D, amazing. I first walk a bit for like 20 minutes maybe, and then I go through messages, maybe call some people, you know. Instead of being lazy and calling here from my desk all the time, I try to do as much as calls as possible, to be honest, outside while doing a walk. Most people really underestimate this. I really take a lot of calls while going on a walk. First, you get more healthy and you get more sun, you lose weight and whatever, fat, and you're working at the same time. Bro, this is a dream life. How can you not do this? This is like a great hack. You have to do this. And also for people who don't like to do cardio, which a lot of people, try this out. It's amazing. So I go for a morning run or I go to the gym, let's say, before that or after that, and I take a sauna session maybe 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes less, depends on my mood. Sauna is amazing. You get out of the sauna, hot, sweating, toxic. And I see a sauna session also kind of as like meditating maybe as well. You just sit and think for like 15, 20 minutes and do nothing. Think about nothing. Naval Ravikant, a billionaire, which was one of the first guys to invest in Uber, he also said meditating at least once a week is so important. He does it every single day. And the way he meditates is just, he sits down, closes his eyes, and he doesn't think about anything. He just sits and does nothing. That's it. That's the only thing he does. This is so important because you gotta see your head as one email box. Do you remember those times that you are Waking up, you open your phone, your messages, your email box, there's so many emails out there all the time. And you're like, what is this even out there? Do I need to read everything? You don't want to do it. You're like kind of bored, maybe you can say, that kind of stuff. But when you finish all these emails, do you feel how happy you are because you finally finished it and you can clear everything up? This is the way that when you do meditating, you clear everything up, because there's a lot of stuff that is going on in your life, and especially for those who are living in a city or having a quite fast life, this really makes everything more clear for you in life. I've had a lot of issues with other people in the past, which can be men, can be women, and because of this, I could clear this and process it in a better way, and I could move on with life. The worst thing that a man can do is keep up being stuck with the past. You gotta move every single day. As a man, the most fulfilling that you can have is, in my opinion, is growing with 1% every single day on the 5 pillars of life: health, wealth, love, happiness, and status. And this is one of the ways you do it. Comes back to Ecom Legend Protocol. Understand? This is the way that I do it, and helps a bunch. I've had a lot of friends who are still stuck in the past and they haven't grew. And that's one of the reasons. The mental issues, the anxiety, the fear. I've had a guy on IG ask me today, Faruk, how do you deal with anxiety and fear? You're posting stories, you're so positive all the time. How do you do this? Bro, I have anxiety and fear a lot of times, bro. I wake up with anxiety, fear a few times a week. But I just put my emotions aside and I just do shit to decrease this. As I do practice my work every single day in my craft to get better at it. Every single shit, you just have to put in the reps. If you don't put in the reps, you're gonna not get out of there. Easy as that. After the sauna, I come back. I order food, chicken, rice, salad, simple shit, no high carbs. And sometimes I don't even order food. I take a shower, I come back and I get back to work. Mostly then I have some calls with the team, or I do some work again, or I record some other stuff here for my education business as of now, or I have some calls. A few days a week, I even have cheat days. I just eat hamburgers and just pizza. I don't give a shit. I do it sometimes. Why not? Why do I need to eat healthy every single day? Yes, it is nice, but I like to enjoy as well some stuff, you know, I like it. Maybe later I'll improve on that, but yeah, I just like to eat some pizza every now and then. And after work, I'd say 3 days a week, I go out with a friend. That's it, I have a social life. Do you know how important a social life is, guys? Most people really underestimate this. People think just because you're working and you're kind of in the trenches that you have to stay there all the time is going to increase. No, you can have some sprints maybe of a few days or a week in a month, but doing this every single day and not having a social life is going to eat you up alive. Worst thing you can do. And I made this mistake as well before, you know? And one of the reasons why I'm so consistent with all of this and how I became so healthy and lost a lot of fat and I'm more healthy than ever. You can see pictures of me here in 2023 in May and a picture of me a few weeks ago. That's how kind of I still look like, even at this point, like more healthy and more fit. And how I did that, it is because I noticed you gotta as well enjoy life a bit and have a good social circle, really. And I became so fat back then. It's horrible, you know. The last few months, health, wealth, love, happiness, status, everything has increased so crazily and immensely that I'm literally at the best point in my life I've ever been. And I do realize that if I'm really going to be complacent at this point, because I hit my momentum, it's gonna be totally done. When you have momentum, you gotta push harder, harder, and harder. That's how you're gonna achieve greatness. I'm striving for greatness every single day, genuinely. I really strive for greatness. And I'm trying to find ways, and maybe you can call it hacks, but I do it in my own way every single day by putting in the reps, right? So I do that, and that helped me immensely, to be honest, guys. Like, for real, really crazy. And it's also important in terms of friends, who are you going to pick? Like, I don't really have non-entrepreneurial friends. And this is not to bash people who have a 9-to-5, like, far from. But it's just the very basic things. Why not? It's because I'm hanging out with somebody, they have different issues. Like, if I hang out with one of my old 9-to-5 friends, they're gonna, like, complain about how expensive the supermarket has gotten. They're gonna complain about how much they have to pay for the electricity bill. I'm not gonna hear some shit how I can increase my life or business. You don't hear that shit. It's always the same bullshit. My old friends are like smoking weed and eating pizza like every weekend. Like, they have a regular job, and that is like the thing I fear the most, and they're literally there right now. You know, so nightmare, I'd say. And by the way, while eating my food, I always watch a podcast, so you know it. And I like to watch a lot of people, Joe Rogan, Andy Frisella, I love, Patrick Bet-David, those are one of the people. But there's so much more, you know. Just big CEO podcasts. And around 12 or 1 a.m. I sleep and I repeat. This is the way I do it. 3-4 times a week, social life, besides that, just working. This is who I'm achieving for greatness. Now, how does this go into the 5 pillars of life, which is health, wealth, love, happiness, and status? First of all, health. I work out every single day. I take my vitamins. Yes, I do believe in biohacking or eating as less carbs as possible, and you name it. But I also believe in a way that you gotta understand, Charlie Munger almost became 100 years old, which is very hard nowadays. Warren Buffett is almost 100 as well. How? Bro, they are just drinking Coca-Cola every single day and having a breakfast at McDonald's. And the thing you gotta understand in this case is that they genuinely love the food so much. Obviously they work out, have the vitamins, go to the hospital, you name it, but they genuinely love that so much that what happens is that they create this dopamine level shit that the happiness increases and the likelihood of being less healthy is just goes down. I know it sounds crazy, but this is why I literally just as well sometimes like I eat a pizza, eat a burger, why not? Why wouldn't I? Yes, I become more fit every single day, but it decreases how fast I can become fit. But I mean, I'm still enjoying my life. I'm not here to only be on hardcore mode every single time. There are small things and parts of your life where you gotta be a little bit chill as well. This is also part of Ecom Legend protocol in my life. So I'm not perfect, like I'm keeping this straight, like far from perfect. And the second thing, which is wealth, one of the key pillars is in this case, for example, let me tell you, is that I noticed that I was in the beginning, for example, I was working, of course, I still work 7 days a week, but I take more days off, you know? And I guess I have to have a social life a few times a week, but I'm still most of the time just dialed in, to be honest. And wealth, I don't even need to really explain that. And happiness, how do I increase my happiness? For example, with my current business, the education business, I'm impacting a lot of people and this genuinely gives me a lot of happiness. I'm running an education business named E-commerce Fair where we teach people to break out of their 9-to-5 business and become an entrepreneur and run an e-commerce business, sell products as well, like worldwide, and become a person of full abundance, or even help people scale. We're already doing 100K a month and scale them like further to 500K a month or 1 million a month. We do that right now. I really enjoy impacting these people. Of course, on the other side, they pay me to help them out as well, consult them, because we already have this experience. And second of all, seeing people grow from a certain moment because of your help, and you know you're doing something good for the culture and you really believe in, is one of the best things ever. Even if it would have made me way less money than it did right now, I would still be doing it 100%, no doubt about it. I said this on my IG story today. On the scale we are running our operations right now, because right now it's a 7-figure business, because at this point it's a 7-figure business, you cannot run this operations and scale even harder if you genuinely don't like what you're doing. I really believe in that. And also the scale we're on, amount of content I'm making, yeah, I just like to do it. And this is the happiness part, but I'm gonna as well dive deeper as well, like later into it. The love part is as well very important. Well, in terms of woman and stuff, I'm single, not married or whatever. But when I talk about love, I would most talk about my family and the impact my parents and my brother have as well on me. So for me, family is very important. For example, in 2021, the first thing I did when I made money with my business is retire my parents. Bought as well my dad an awesome car. So that is some achievements in terms of, that is what I really understand out of love, I'd say, in my life. So that is very important, and this also gives you the motivation to work harder and be a better person every single day. So when I think about love, I think about family, because you gotta understand this. Yes, blood is not thicker than water, but you gotta understand that if you're gonna be broke or you're up, most likely still your family is going to catch you and help you, and not your friends. Most of your friends are going to you over. And this is the hard truth. Life goes like this. So the next thing is status. A lot of people will say, Fadik, why do you talk about status? Why does it matter? It does matter a bunch. Ever since my IG followers, my Twitter followers, my YouTube has been increased, my life has gotten so much better. I have right now around 160K followers worldwide on my socials, and my YouTube almost 8K subs. This brings so much benefits. Not necessarily in people recognizing me, but in networking. You can get your foot way easier through the door. In 2021, when I first started kind of a personal brand under the name of Michael Corleone on Twitter, and I was just posting a bunch of dropshipping threads and value bombs out there. Well, because nobody was doing it, I was the only one doing it. I was the first one actually about EU dropshipping on a high scale, you can say. It was only to increase my network. I needed better solutions. I needed better investment tips. Everything, a lot of stuff around business, I needed a better network. Because the quote that your network is your net worth is very, very true. Of course, if it's a really, really solid network. That was my number one thing. And even though a lot of my business and socials are around my education business at this point, still my network has increased massively. And I've been connecting now with the biggest and biggest entrepreneurs. For example, a month ago, I was at this Capital Club meetup and we were at this table with billionaires. Man, I would have never thought when I was working at 17 years old at Burger King that I would have been on table with billionaires. For me, even becoming a millionaire was totally out of my reach, you know? Crazy. So the status part is so important and people really underestimate it. This is why a personal brand is the biggest asset that you can have in 2024. And this is well like why I'm so active on socials, besides the fact I really do like it. It's because to build a personal brand, build a better network, your status increases and everything in life just becomes easier. Easy. So how does this translate into the Ecom Legend protocol? Well, one of the protocols I talked about is having like the workouts, the coffee, spend time with your family, with friends, going to take a haircut, for example, staying fresh. These are one of my protocols. That was pretty much about that. But before we're going to end the video, I want to give you guys the 25 tenets of me, Farouk, that I believe in. I would call them as well protocols that are very important before we're going to end it. So listen up. Number 1, retire your parents. Number 2, total abundance. Number 3, don't give a shit about what anybody says. Number 4, peace over war. Number 5, don't show emotion. Number 6, emotion is a sign of weakness. Number 7, show your weaknesses but not at all. 8, hire graduates. They are used to working under authority in a group under a team. 9, the music you consume is what you are and what you believe. 10, dating a bunch of women is useless. 11, live simple, think big. 12, haters are imaginary. 13, never lift yourself up by talking shit about others. 14, drink espressos. 15, drink a bunch of water and sparkling water. 16, eat once a day. 17, fast every day till 2-3 p.m. 18, listening to 50 Cent classics will make you rich. 19, have an old and new money mentor. 20, imposter syndrome works in the beginning, but is very dangerous for those that want to become exceptional in life. 21, challenge and push your team members to the max. 22, organic is better than paid. 23, create a group feeling and an enemy. 24, speed is more important than perfection. 25, health above anything. 26, everything that you do in life, don't do it if it doesn't benefit you in 5 years. 27, if you don't think about your business while working out, it means you're not dialed in. 28, if it requires most of the time fixing instead of building, don't do it. 29, you will never unlock your full potential if you don't read books. 30, listen and watch CEOs as much as possible. 31, giving out free value will give you more back in the long term. 32, life is a marathon, not a race. 33, your best friend may be your worst enemy tomorrow. 34, the one who talks shit about others next to you talks even more shit about you. And 35, don't listen to what anybody says, but watch what they're doing in the end, because that is exactly what they intended to do all along. Well, these were the 35 protocols or tenets I believe in. I'm gonna write a bunch more, but I literally made this like in 10 minutes, you know? This is how I go about life. And anyway, this was it. If you also think I should make more videos like this, comment under here, Ecom Legend Protocol. Love.